Minneapolis, the trial of a former Minneapolis police officer charged in George Floyd's death is underway. The judge briefed the jurors on their duties ahead of opening statements Monday in the case that sparked waves of outrage justice across the U.S. and beyond after bystander video showed Derek Chauvin press his knee to Floyd's neck for about 9 minutes. Legal experts said they expect prosecutors to play the video to the jury early on to remind jurors of what is at the heart of their case. Floyd family attorney Ben Crump said outside the courthouse ahead of opening statements that the trial would be a test of whether America is going to live up to the Declaration of Independence. Prosecutors have not said when they will play the video, but legal experts expect it to be early, maybe even in the prosecution's opening statement, as they seek to remind jurors of what is at the heart of their case. If you're a prosecutor, you want to start off strong. You want to frame the argument, and nothing frames the argument in this case as much as that video, said Jeffrey Cramer, a former federal prosecutor and managing director of Berkeley Research Group in Chicago. Floyd, 46, was declared dead after Chauvin, who is white, pressed his knee against Floyd's neck for about 9 minutes. He held his position even as Floyd's "I can't breathe" cries faded and he went limp as he was handcuffed and lying on his stomach. Chauvin, 45, is charged with unintentional second-degree murder, third-degree murder and manslaughter. Almost all of the jurors selected during more than 2 weeks of questioning said they had seen at least parts of the video, and several acknowledged it gave them at least a somewhat negative view of Chauvin. But they said they could set that aside. Outside the courthouse Monday ahead of opening statements, Floyd family attorney Ben Crump said the trial would be a test of whether America is going to live up to the Declaration of Independence. And he blasted the idea that it would be a tough test for jurors. For all those people that continue to say that this is such a difficult trial, that this is a hard trial, we refute that, he said. We know that if George Floyd was a white American citizen, and he suffered this painful, tortuous death with a police officer's knee on his neck, nobody would be saying this is a hard case. The trial is expected to last about 4 weeks at the courthouse in downtown Minneapolis, which has been fortified with concrete barriers, fencing, and barbed and razor wire. City and state leaders are determined to prevent a repeat of damaging riots that followed Floyd's death, and National Guard troops have already been mobilized. The key questions at trial will be whether Chauvin caused Floyd's death and whether his actions were reasonable.